Deathstroke number 14, written by Rob Liefeld and Joshua Williamson, art by Eduardo Pansica. This is the next part of Hawkman Wanted, but in the last issue of Hawkman Wanted over in Green Arrow, the issue ended with Hawkman and Green Arrow going into a building to find out where, I think it was Shayera was. That's not here. There's no Green Arrow. He's not going into a... This is not the next part of Hawkman Wanted. This is just some other story where Deathstroke happens to meet Hawkman. Anyway, so Deathstroke's looking for Hawkman. He's scouting the city because he got a message from somebody because he's trying to... After he was humiliated in the last Deathstroke issue, he was beaten down. He's trying to figure out, okay, I need something high profile. What do you got? And this guy comes up and says, oh, it's aliens, it's Hawk people, and we want them. And he's like, nah, I'm not dealing with aliens anymore. That last time was stupid. They're literally calling out Lobo Hunt as being stupid. But then the guy points out, oh, he has nth metal. And he's like, that's what my suit's made out of. And I have a lot of questions about my suit. More specifically, why my suit do what it do. So he decides to take on the case, but he doesn't actually want to catch Hawkman, and turn him in. He just literally wants to ask some questions. He's doing it pro bono. So anyway, he's looking around, and then he gets blindsided by some Thanagarian soldier who shows up and just like, oh, you're working with Hawkman, aren't you? And he's like, no, I'm not. And they beat the crap out of each other until finally Deathstroke manages to get his sword into the Thanagarian's chest and kills him. And then as he realizes that Hawkman was literally flying by right then, he's like, crap, gotta make this quick, jumps off the building, grabs onto Hawkman, and of course, they start to fight because Hawkman's like, oh, you're trying to kill me too, but it ain't gonna work because I got Green Arrow. Where's Green Arrow? He doesn't say that, but he may as well. So anyway, at that point, Deathstroke manages to get the upper hand, and he's like, hey, I'm not here for the job. I literally just have some questions. And I'm also here to help you because I hear you're being hunted. You okay with that? And Hawkman's like, yeah. And he punches Deathstroke, and he's like, and I don't need your help. Despite the fact he totally does. And so Hawkman starts to fly away. Deathstroke gets a grapple on him. They continue to fight, and Deathstroke's like, okay, I want to test out a theory I have real quick. And he takes out a gun and shoots Hawkman in the neck. But as the bullet's about to hit him, the nth metal armor spreads and stops the bullet before it gets. He's like, aha, that gives me some info as to how your nth metal works. So at that point, Hawkman's like, what do you want? And he's like, I just want answers. So they land on a building and then just talk. And basically, Hawkman explains, okay, yeah, it's some magic metal thing. It came from my home planet. It shouldn't be on Earth, but I guess that somehow some of the miners got a hand on some of it, and it came to Earth because, sure, why not? And then Deathstroke's like, okay, but mine doesn't move like yours does, and also I don't have wings. And he's like, well, I mean, my alien DNA is what gives me wings. That's not the suit. That's the DNA. But also, maybe your armor was mixed with some other alloy, so it's not as pure. I don't know. But either way, that's basically the gist of it. And Deathstroke's like, cool. I've got all I need. Anyway, see ya. And then he's just like, okay, well, bye. But before they can leave, they're hit by a rocket, and the whole roof explodes. They get up, and they look around at who did it. And turns out it's a bunch of Thanagarians, and then Xerxes and that one other guy who I think attacked Hawkman 2 issues ago. And they're like, okay, well, I guess we have to die before we let them have this armor. Otherwise, they'll do evil things with it. And he's like, oh, there's going to be plenty of dying, Hawkman, but not by us. That's the issue. Okay. Hawkman once was already a stretch of an idea when they said it was an event. Because it's not an event. It's crossover. It's a very light crossover. And fine if you want to just label it as a crossover. But here's the thing that's bugging me the most. Is that this is labeled as part 3. It is most definitely Hawkman Wanted, Part 3. And somehow, despite the fact that we literally have seen the connecting tissue of Hawkman was flying just over the ocean, and then in Green Arrow, he made it into the city. And now in the city, Green Arrow is gone, and he's replaced with Deathstroke. Now, I think Hawkman itself is going to be the next part of this, so I'm curious to say whether or not we're going to follow the Green Arrow part, the Deathstroke part. They're going to somehow meet up. They're going to explain what happened to Green Arrow for a whole issue. I don't know. More importantly, I don't care. This issue wasn't great. This was basically just like the most tenuous link of, oh, hey, Hawkman's got Nth Metal and Deathstroke has Nth Metal. Let's have an issue about that. But when it says about that, it quite literally is just Hawkman restating his origins and saying, this is probably how you got your hands on it. Anyway, bye. So, yeah. Poor excuse for a tie-in, if even. Definitely not worth cover price. Overall, I would probably give this one like... I give it like a 5. And it's not because, like, it looks fine and so be it on the other stuff, but, like, it completely stops Deathstroke's story. And there's one panel in here, I gotta say. What the Thanagarian who attacks Deathstroke says, "Where did you get that armor?" And Deathstroke responds with, "I don't know why, but I feel a your mama joke coming on." 5 seems a bit too genuine, or generous, looking back now, but I'll give it a 5. So yeah, we'll see where Hawkman wants it goes, if it continues the story, if this is completely useless, but I'm leaning towards the latter.